Hey, Salina.
Hey, Nikki.
And hey, everyone. Welcome to Sweet Tea and TV. I remembered to say that this time. I keep forgetting. And welcome to this week's main episode. So we are continuing through Sex and the City. And our next stop is Miranda's immaculately decorated apartment. You like what I did there? You like what I did there?
Okay. That took me a second.
Oh.
Sorry.
I really thought you'd go with me on this.
It's after work. I don't
get it.
know.
I get
I'm
it.
so sorry.
Pull it together, Salina.
You work so hard on that.
I work so hard. But, I pause immediately to make sure that I get credit for it. So
That's very Leo of you.
That's what it is.
Don't worry, because I left my window open and I think I have a trash truck queued up to go by. So you wrote perfectly beautiful and sophisticated jokes, and I'm going to time some well-placed noise.
I think I'm going to mute you then. So you're going to give us the full character rundown in a little bit. Suffice it to say, though, Miranda is I'm curious how you feel about my description of her, our hard-talking, cold-hearted, except when she's not, high-powered lawyer girly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that works.
Okay.
Girly.
Girly.
We'll give her the girly. Sure, why not?
Yeah. She's one of the girlies. Anyway, so this week we're going to talk about a few episodes. We're going to talk about season 2, episode 8, The Man, the Myth, the Viagra. So the summary from the Sex and the City fandom wiki is Carrie tries to get big to meet the girls. Miranda meets Steve Brady, a bartender. Samantha dates an incredibly wealthy man in his 70s. This one was directed by Victoria Hochberg and written by Michael Patrick King and Candace Bushnell. I have an addendum from maybe our last recording, or maybe it was the first one this season, where I asked if Candace Bushnell gets writing credit on every single episode. Mm-hmm. I was pulling these from either IMDb or that wiki, and they give her credit, but the actual credits of the show, like when it's coming up, they don't put her name up there. So I think you're exactly right that they're giving her credit as the sort of like creator and original writer.
Right, which maybe I learned from our Designing Women days too. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
See, it all feeds one another.
Sure does.
So next up, we have season 2, episode 12, La Douleur Exquise, which
Glad you're here for that.
Translates to the exquisite pain, or the pain of having someone you can never have. I had to look that up. I knew exquise. I didn't know douleur. Anyway, the summary of that one is Carrie is horrified when Big casually tells her he's moving to Paris for 6 months. Miranda dates a man who only wants to have sex in places where they might get caught. Charlotte meets Buster, a shoe salesman with a foot fetish, and Samantha introduces the girls to a hot S&M club/restaurant.
Can I just say that now I know why sometimes I see Will Arnett,
yes,
and I get a little creeped out.
A little weirded out.
I think it's because, it's not him. It's this character is like buried in my brain.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Because obviously he's awesome and very funny, but it's like right here in the base of my brain. Yeah.
It's a very specific character he plays in this one.
Yep.
So that was my guest star. This one was directed by Allison Anders and written by Ollie Levy, Michael Patrick King, and Candace Bushnell. Then we have season 4, episode 8, My Motherboard, Myself. Carrie's laptop crashes, and when Aiden tries to help, she pushes him away. Charlotte becomes the Martha Stewart of funerals. Miranda's mother dies. At the funeral, everyone's concerned that she's single, and Samantha loses her big O. This one was written by Julie Rottenberg, Eliza Zuritsky, and Candace Bushnell, and it was directed by Michael Engler. I have a trivia point about that one and a guest star. Trivia point, Strawbridge's department store, that's where Miranda goes in Philly to buy her bra, was a longtime chain in the area until it was acquired by Macy's in 2005.
Oh, there you go.
So it was legit. And then guest stars, Mary Pat Gleason played Lucille in the dressing room. She's the staff member who hugged Miranda. She was super familiar to me, so I had to look her up. She's been in everything. For the Sweeties specifically, I thought it was worth noting that she was in Soap Dish and Mama's Family and Troop Beverly Hills. Isn't that crazy?
She's all up in our content.
She's all up in our content.
Okay. Yeah, that's nice.
I'll leave you with that. Then we have season 4, episode 11, Coulda, Woulda, Shoulda. Carrie is reluctant to tell Aiden that she had an abortion when she was 22. Charlotte discovers that she only has a 15% chance of getting pregnant naturally. Miranda finds out she's pregnant and debates whether or not to keep it. Samantha gets Lucy Liu as a client. This one was directed by David Frankel and written by Jenny Bix, Candace Bushnell, and Julie Rottenberg. I found something in terms of trivia that said this was the first episode with a scene featuring just Charlotte and Miranda.
Oh,
They've never appeared in a scene, just the two of them.
it's
And of course,
interesting to know that someone tracks that.
I know. And that I just shared it with you. We all have our things.
I was about to say, we all play a role.
We all play a role. Speaking of, Lucy Liu was the guest star in that one. And then last one is season 4, episode 12, Just Say Yes. Aiden proposes to Carrie. Charlotte discusses adoption with Trey, but hits a wall when Bunny finds out. Miranda tells Steve she's keeping his baby. Samantha starts sleeping with her boss, Richard Wright. This one was directed by David Frankel and written by Candace Bushnell, Cindy Chupak, and Julie Rottenberg. Trivia. This was the last episode where the intro shows the Twin Towers.
That's depressing.
The scene, this gets more depressing. The scene where Aiden proposes to Carrie was shot on the street where Woody Allen and Soon-Yi Previn lived. They were looking out a window during the film shoot.
Wonderful.
And then when they filmed, Trey told Charlotte, "You have more hormones in you than a Purdue chicken." But obviously they changed that line to, "You have more hormones in you than a teenage boy."
Yeah.
This must have been a timeliness thing. Purdue must have been in the news for so many hormones.
Oh, really?
I don't
I
know.
didn't know about that. Oh,
I don't know. I'm just guessing. I just give you the trivia. I'm not looking into them.
Oh, and I'm sitting here thinking about Sonny Purdue. And I'm like, I've heard a lot of things about Sonny Purdue, but not hormones.
Nope, not Sonny Purdue.
How many people do you think recall Sonny Purdue that are listening?
It's going to be
No.
a niche audience for sure. Worth a look-see, guys. On this one, Bunny is played by Frances Sternhagen. She just died in 2023 at the age of 93.
Wow.
She was in Parenthood, the TV show, and Julie and Julia, which I thought you would appreciate. But what I actually remembered her from was Doc Hollywood, which is a film I've continued to pitch as our special episode at the end of the season, and I keep getting shot down. But worlds continue to collide.
Well, there are quite a number of bad movies that you got me to see, which is probably why I should watch this one, because I do believe you that it's good.
It's a good one.
I believe you. I want to see it, but I'm going to wait until we do it for the podcast. I've thought about going to watch it, but I'm waiting for you.
Well, one day
Tell
when
the
you do
audience
watch it,
that they want it.
Frances Sternhagen is in it.
Frances Sternhagen.
But Frances is not who we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about Miranda. Do you want to tell us all about her?
Yeah, absolutely. So Miranda was played by Cynthia Nixon. As our standard practice is now, we like to talk a little bit about archetypes, who among us. You gave us a little bit of foreshadowing there, Nikki. And of course, we did talk about this in our season opener, but let's revisit that a little bit. In the Designing Women universe, she comes closest, I would say, to Julia. Let me know if you disagree.
Yeah. I'll allow it.
Golden Girls, she's our Dorothy.
I'll allow it.
Okay, these are all direct, unapologetic women, but Miranda might be the most severe.
The most.
Yes, the least stereotypically feminine of the three. I think you can really see that through the lens of nurturer. I don't think we ever see her, even in the reboot, fawn over Brady the way that Julia would over Payne or Dorothy would over Michael.
I don't know, Salina. Hold on one second. I take umbrage with that. She absolutely said in that extra episode that you had me watch to talk about an extra sugar this week, she hates other children except her own. That's basically Miranda's version of fawning over Brady.
Okay.
She totally loves him.
You win that one.
Sure.
So, but yes, aside from that beautiful,
lovely
gushy
sentiment
display of affection, yes, Miranda is cooler, more calculated than the rest of the women most of the time. She is arguably the most ambitious. You haven't really gotten to see that as much in your batch of episodes, I'm afraid, but even as opposed to, like, say, a Samantha, she, not opposed to Samantha. I was thinking about Samantha in terms of, like, the ambitiousness level. We've talked about her being pretty ambitious. But I do think when you look at that, like, ambition specifically, she is maybe unfairly considered less desirable for it. as women often are. So, she is like a warrior or thinking archetype, and we've touched on this before, and surely it will come up today. There's like a lot of walls, some walls in there. I don't know if you noticed.
A wall or two.
Okay, and then we'll talk about the best parts of Miranda, the maybe not so shiny parts, and if anything just fell completely apart for you. But let's start with the best parts of Miranda. What hit you?
I just think she is truly a good friend. In particular to Carrie, I feel like there are just several occasions where she's sticking up for Carrie. Again, I don't want to talk about this episode too much because we only watched it for the extra sugar, but it's most recent in my head. But it's that A Woman's Right to Shoes. Do you remember which number that was? Season
6, episode
9, something.
Yeah.
A Woman's Right to Shoes. But in that episode, she completely validates everything that Carrie is experiencing. But in this batch of episodes, the one that really came to mind for me as showing like a really good friend moment was that time that she saw Charlotte walking out on the street. So this was after Charlotte had like that breakdown when Miranda told her she was pregnant and like lost it on Miranda and was basically just like, I can't even look at you right now. And Miranda saw her while they were walking on the street and she was like, oh, Charlotte. And Charlotte, like, I can't talk to you right now. I can't do it. And Miranda just followed Charlotte home. Like she didn't force herself into Charlotte's world. She didn't force Charlotte to engage with her. She was just there for her because she felt like she needed some support right then. And she wanted her to know she was there. I thought that was such an incredibly touching, such a minor but incredibly touching scene and display of her like friendship.
Oh, I mean, just the most beautiful.
It was really lovely.
Yeah, and I think it's like, yeah, these are strong archetypes in all of these shows that we watch, but that is such a tender moment. And just prove again, like, when Miranda loves someone, she really loves them.
Yeah.
That's a great example. Probably the best example, honestly, from this batch of episodes, although there might be more throughout the series that I would point to. But, you know, she's a amazing friend, and she just shows up. And sometimes, like, I don't know, I was thinking about this lately, like, in getting older. Not me, but
sorry
people
you're
I
getting
know.
older.
I know, isn't it tough for
You?
me? Yeah. But like, it's easy in your 20s to be a good friend.
Yeah.
Because like, it's at bars.
And nothing's competing for your time in quite the same way.
Yeah, or it's a celebration.
Right.
Like there's marriages and there's babies, and I'm not saying that doesn't continue into your 30s. It does, but people really get started in their 20s. And so those are easy things to show up for, but when people start dying and when people start getting sick and when people start going through serious life changes and you have people that show up in your life, those are the real ones. And I think Miranda's a great example of that. She also, for me, I think one of the best parts of her is that she's going to tell you how it is. And that may not work for some people, but I need that among my friends because I'm stubborn and I need someone, and you've been that person for me because you know I'm a dog with a bone, and sometimes I just glaze over and I need someone to snatch me out of it. So
that's me, the snatcher.
Well, as long as it's not a purse or a child snatcher, we're probably okay. What about some maybe not so shiny parts about Miranda? She is a full person after all.
She is that. I think really just the worst parts of Miranda come out when she's defensive about something. So Steve pointed out in at least one of these episodes that she really needs to like loosen up. And that's when you really see her lash out. Or there was one part, and I didn't write the episode down, but Carrie was ribbing her about her relationship with Steve, I think. And she just does not enjoy that. It is not, she does not present her best self when people do that. She really lashes out, and again, builds that wall. And I imagine, like, if you're in her personal life, this fictional character, but that would make it really hard to be with and exist with.
Yeah. I mean, she's a tough cookie, and she's harsh.
Yeah.
Like, she may be a truth teller. She is not a diplomat.
No. And she is a lawyer, so I guess there's something to be said for that. Like,
yeah, it makes her a badass lawyer.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, she's
and,
not really
and tough.
worried about how someone's going to receive something. She just says it.
Right. And I think like that's probably innately in someone. And then I think the lawyery, I'm talking about baking it right into you, you know?
Yeah.
I think that compulsion to telling the truth, because it does feel like a compulsion. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I know. As the person who's told me, sometimes it's just right there in your throat and you just can't swallow it down. You just have to say it. Sounds
It's
like a
not me.
compulsion.
It's my natal chart. I have a lot of fire in my houses. But timing is everything, and her timing is awful. You know, that's what I'm trying to say. You know,
Yeah. She just
like
doesn't think through it too much.
I'm just saying, if like she could have told, like it was one thing to tell Charlotte, yeah, I'm accidentally pregnant, but she probably could have left the abortion off the table.
Yeah.
For like 25 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that was just like I understand, like. It's there. It's sitting under the surface. You got a bad face for hiding stuff. Same, girl. Same.
Yeah.
But like, just lie a little. You know, I need some time to think about it.
Yeah. Right.
I'm processing something, but not like, yeah, I've got an appointment. What? And then I was going to say too, like when you're as pragmatic as Miranda, I think there are some times when she comes off unintentionally thoughtless. So like when she like there's all this buildup to her telling Steve that she's pregnant. And then she's like, she just blurts it out over a TCBY. I did double check, by the way. I was like, I bet you this is a fancy frozen yogurt place.
Nope.
And then it was like TCBY.
Which used to be fancy frozen yogurt before
did,
all the
but I
fancy
thought,
frozen
like,
yogurt
in
places
New
came.
York,
Yeah.
I just figured they had all that beat, you know?
Maybe
They're, like,
it
10 years
started the
ahead of us,
froyo
really.
phase.
Like the cupcake phase.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry about my cup. Speaking of cups, slamming my cups down around here. And then I wanted to ask too, of course, is there anywhere where she just fell apart for you?
You know, not really. No, like the truth teller piece and the bad timing piece that you pointed out, those are sometimes can be really hard for someone like me. It like feels it's super hurtful for me, and it feels like intentional in a way, even though it's not intentional. It's just the way she is. So like those would be in my personal life where she might fall apart for me and rub me a little bit wrong. But in the series and like watching her, not really.
Is this your way of telling me that sometimes you want to punch me in the face?
You're a Miranda. And I'll punch you. No, I'll just go cry about something you said.
I think I'm more diplomatic.
You
than
are.
Miranda.
You are.
So, okay, I say not a fall apart, but I think it's like the thing, and maybe I almost want to update the category. I don't know.
Yeah.
In the case of Miranda, it's like the thing that makes me the saddest
Okay.
is the self-sabotage.
Oh, yeah.
You know, she's so scared of being vulnerable that she just lets it all crash around her.
Yeah.
And I think that really, I'm not a thing like Miranda, but that really pulls at like a part of me because you just see it, you know. And I
Yeah.
know it's a character, but it's still, and it's a TV show, but it's still sad. And like you see people do that in real life, or maybe you've done that yourself
Yeah.
in your own life. And I think it's just hard to watch. It's like watching a slow car crash.
Yeah. Yeah. That's valid.
So I think you let me know if you wound up looking up anything, but I was going to share some shining moments, excuse me, across the series.
Okay.
So she won an Emmy for, this is Cynthia, not Miranda, for Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Comedy Series in 2004. And then she snagged it from Kristen Davis.
Oh, there you go.
But she was nominated for one in 2002 and 2003.
Oh, wow.
She was nominated for a golden, well, my notes say a Golden Glove.
She had a moonlighting career as a baseball player.
I wish.
You probably should have led with
I was
that.
like, boxing?
Can I ask you a question? Sorry, about her Emmys. Did she,
Lord,
those
yeah,
ones
sure.
that she was nominated for, moving on past the Golden Glove, was it ever a situation, in all seriousness, like it was with the Golden Girls, where they were stealing from one another? Like in years, one didn't win, the other did?
Yeah, that's a great question that I don't know the answer to.
Okay.
But if you want to do some sleuthing while I'm sharing all the other half-ass things I know.
Not true. I asked a random question.
But she was nominated for a Golden Globe for Best Performance by an Actress in a Supporting Role in a Series in 2000 and 2001. So, I mean, for a majority of the time the series was on, she was being nominated. And I somehow missed this for Charlotte and Kristen in our Charlotte/Kristen Davis episode, but the four main cast won a Screen Actors Guild Award for outstanding performance by an ensemble in a comedy series in '02 and '04.
Oh.
That feels important because that is also your fellow actors voting for you. You know? Then I did find some quotes that I think give some nice insight, not only like into how Cynthia felt about the character, but maybe also about how like it may have changed even the trajectory of her life a little bit. So I found an InStyle article where Nixon called the show revolutionary, and she was telling the publication that Sex and the City is a feminist show. It's always been a feminist show. Quote, what you have to remember is that we were in our 30s and 40s, Nixon continued. Of course, I look at the show now, we look like babies, but being single at that age, at that time, still had a kind of stigma. And that's not something we've really talked about, but I think that's a really fair point. I think that even held weight for like our generation. You know,
Yeah.
it's starting to change, but you definitely felt that in the air. And she added, its central message was unheard of. And this is something we have talked about, but from her mouth. You can be a woman. You can have a lot of sex with a lot of different people. It didn't make you a slut, and it didn't mean you were using sex to get something. You were having sex because you enjoyed having sex. And then I ran across another interview when she appeared on Josh Smith's Great Chat Show. Cynthia talks about loving to play Miranda and that it was so different than anything she'd ever played before, which I forgot. I can't even remember what the roles were, but I remember like seeing it after I saw her play Miranda, and it was like these very like meek, like wallflower characters.
Oh.
Yeah, and so she said, you know, this really so this role is what introduced her to me, and so it's like impossible for me to think of her really any other way. It felt like watching like an alien or something, you know, just because she embodies that character so well. But she talked about being very different than Miranda, but like most shows, it really kind of put me in the mind of Designing Women. The writers incorporated more and more of her into the character as time went on. And apparently playing Miranda also taught her how to stand up for her own opinions in real life. And so for those who may not know this, Cynthia is very politically active and actually ran for governor of New York in 2018. She lost the primary to Democrat incumbent Governor Andrew Cuomo. I do want to mention, though, she got 35% of the vote.
Oh, wow.
I think that's pretty substantial, especially since like a lot of times people don't take people that are actors serious. Except for the times when they become governor of California.
That's a thing.
But a lot of times that doesn't really pan out for people. Anyways, that's the end. Okay. Did you like that transition?
I did.
Strong.
Quick addendum. It looks like a couple of times that the Sex and the City ladies were up against one another for Emmys.
I mean, I guess it makes sense, right?
Makes sense.
I think it would actually be more hurtful.
Yes.
To like not be nominated.
Yes.
What if like 3 of you were?
Yes. And one of you wasn't.
That's right. That seems mean.
That wouldn't be good.
No.
That's all you got on Cynthia Nixon?
I'm sure I have more on her, but that's all I have to share today.
Are you ready to move to our watch party notes?
Let's asynchronously view from our respective couches in our respective homes as we do laundry.
You're such a goober. I wish I could do laundry right now. I really wish I could eat dinner right now. Top 3 moments that stuck with us. Maybe it was that she surprised us, or maybe it's a nod to her acting. Do you have any top 3 moments?
Well, I'm like, no.
None.
Season 2, episode 8, The Man, the Myth, the Viagra. When she runs out into the rain after Steve.
Oh.
This is pivotal moment for me.
Oh.
You know? This is big tentpole Sex in the City. Like, I'm so into this show. Like, 19-year-old me is like, this is watching, you
Where's my
know?
Steve?
Yeah, where is my Steve? Um, so I just love that she lets her guard down and she takes that leap of faith. And like, really, I don't know, it's just that it's beautiful. I love that scene.
I really liked the chemistry between her and Steve. So when we talked about
Mhm.
Steve, I told you like, doesn't do it for me. I don't understand what's the big draw. And you said like basically be patient. Like there's more. Maybe you'll have a chance to see it where they meet and they have this like immediate chemistry. I get it.
Well, and he holds her.
I get it. Yeah.
He holds her accountable.
Yeah.
You know, he makes her say please because she's being a little of a butthole.
Yep.
You know, and that's them bartender rules. I use them too.
But
Talk to you the way you talk to me.
and that first interaction is one of my top 3 moments where they meet and you get to see them together and you kind of get to see why he's charming. Because every episode I've seen him in, I thought like she is way too good for him. I see there why he's so charming and what's appealing about him. Like you said, he holds her accountable, so he's gentle, but he's not a pushover. He like keeps her in line, and I really appreciated that.
Yeah, he's like, oh Lord, I want to call him Spanky, but that's not his name.
Huh?
The guy
Spanky.
that she dates that is
Oh,
so yeah.
oh,
Anyways, I don't know why I'm blanking on that, but it's late. It's really not, but my brain is off. But anyways, that guy.
what is his name?
Yeah. So it's like him,
Spanky.
but like 2.0,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So there's that. What do you have?
So that was one. I also have my motherboard myself is my top moment. So I'm thankful to you, Salina, for giving me the heads up on this episode because it was an emotional roller coaster for me. Um,
It
Obviously,
probably should have came earlier. I'm sorry.
oh, it was perfect
Yeah.
timing. It was
Oh, okay.
perfect. I
Good,
hadn't
good, good,
watched
good,
it
good.
yet. It was perfect timing. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, I like obviously lost my mom last year, and so like at its core it was just super relatable to me, but I also feel like I can really relate to the way that Miranda dealt with the whole thing, the whole like I'll be fine, everything's fine, I'll be fine, I'm not fine, like I'm not fine. And I could totally relate to that. um so there's that piece of it, like this emotional journey that she's on. But then there's also this thing at the funeral that keeps happening where I think it was her brother, they kept referring to her as his wife or his fiance or whatever.
Right.
And just her reactions to the whole thing also felt super relatable to me. Like, what is
Yeah.
happening right now?
Right. That face acting was so
Exactly.
good. Yep.
Like, I'm devastated. This is the worst thing. Also, I'm being called my brother's wife. Like, what is happening? I
Yeah.
loved that. And then, of course, the moment between her and Samantha, where Samantha's been so, like, whatever about everything through this whole funeral situation. And then suddenly she just, like, loses it. And you can tell it means so much to Miranda that she was there. And Miranda, like, mouthed thank you to her. I feel like, as someone who's been through that experience, all of that felt real and really conveyed the complexity of both that experience and also the character of Miranda and her friendship with her girlfriends.
That to me, I don't know if that's in the book.
Mm,
I guess we'll learn. But to me, that felt like lived experience.
yeah, I could see that.
But that one hit me hard before I'd ever lost anyone in my life, you
Yeah.
know, because it is her. So this has also made mine. Her entire performance is so good. It's so layered, so raw, so complicated. That call where she tells Carrie, there's this like palpable exhaustion and
Yeah.
this inability at the same time for someone who always has so much control. You see that push pull happening right there. She's trying to hold that emotion that she would not normally put on display like this. But at the same time, it's just oozing through. Sorry, oozing is a terrible
Bad
word.
word.
But it's coming through no matter what she does. And she is still practically and pragmatically Miranda. She has nothing to wear. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
She's got to go out and she's got to get something that's black or whatever it is. I also wanted to nominate for best performance in this is like her interaction with Lucille in the dressing room. I read something where someone said like she was so rude in that scene, and I'm like, I don't think you got the memo, because this is a woman who is transferring every emotion of sorrow onto Lucille.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Lucille in that moment is her mother. I don't know how they missed that.
Yeah.
You know, she is once again the teenager. She's having, like, she sounds like a 15-year-old in a dressing room with their mom.
Yeah.
You know, I just thought that part was like, that was Miranda with beautiful vulnerability. She let her hold her, and she needed that.
Yeah.
She was up there by herself. She's obviously not close to her family. Later at the funeral, this is another one that I put forward as being like a best moment of this episode and her performance. Her reaction to her family's concerns.
Oh.
All they're worried about is that she's single. And she just had like a great line in there where she said, God forbid that I should walk down the aisle alone, because that would be the real tragedy, right? Ignore the coffin. There's a single 35-year-old woman walking behind it. And I think that is kind of like, I think a little bit we're having some push-pull on what is the message of Sex in the City. And that's kind of it too, though, is it's like, will society let me be single?
Yeah.
Even when I've lost my mother.
Yeah.
Like, could that be the biggest deal today? And then we'll return to my pending loneliness tomorrow.
My cat ladiness.
Yeah, so I just thought that was interesting. Anything else before we move on to other observations?
I also really just liked her entire performance in Just Say Yes, and I wanted to give it a call out. So you mentioned earlier she like bluntly told Steve that she was pregnant over the froyo. I loved when she laughed out loud at him while he was proposing, just like straight in his face. And then her absolute horror when Carrie admitted that she didn't like the ring that Aiden and Miranda had picked out together. She was just, it was one of the first times we've gotten to see so much range from this character. And I just really appreciated that entire performance.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. And they're like these tiny moments.
Yeah.
You know,
right.
And you'll see that a lot. Like, so much is like I said, Carrie's the show.
Right.
She's the star, you know? So I think it's even more telling about how good these performances are when it's like these little side plots.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're just stealing it away.
Yeah.
And Miranda is definitely, / Cynthia Nixon is definitely doing it in that episode. So that's a good call. Did you have any favorite quotes? Outrageous quotes?
Yes, I have 3.
Okay.
She says, I swear, if you Pollyanna out on me today, I'm going to have to hit you in the face with this rice pudding. So this was her to Charlotte at brunch after the doomed married man comedy club date. When she asks, am I that desperate for somebody to like me? And Charlotte says, maybe he did like you.
I will just say that was a peak Miranda moment for me.
I also loved when she said, you ditched me for a piece of politically incorrect meat. Yeah. That was her response to Carrie ditching her for Big making her dinner. Also, her reaction was totally warranted. Carrie was being a jerk.
Yeah.
Ditch her, but not to be all Charlotte or whatever. If Carrie hadn't ditched her, she wouldn't have met Steve, right?
That's true.
So see, it all
and
happens.
She would not have saved him from the dusty reference of Fiona Apple in Amstel Lights.
There you go. Look at you.
Look at us. I like the politically incorrect meat was very funny. When she finds out Carrie told Aiden that she's pregnant, there's a quote, like Carrie goes, I told Aiden I had to. He's going to tell Steve. He will not. I made him swear on Chanel. Well, as long as he took the oath of fabric. And then her reaction when Carrie insinuates that she should have the baby. This might be something that lives rent-free in my head. There's no way I'm telling Steve. He'd want to have it. You know what? You're right. Forget my life. I'm having Steve's baby. Pizza for everybody. And then I do think that it is worth going down through the exchange at that proposal.
Oh, okay.
It's so good.
It was really good.
Are you crazy? That's your answer? Why are you proposing? it's what you wanted. I don't want to marry you. I don't really want to marry you right now either. Then what are we doing? There's going to be a baby. I don't want to just see you at the playground. I want to help. That doesn't mean we have to get married. You're not in love with me, especially not right now. It's like, it's just absolutely golden.
Especially not right now. Again, their chemistry is so good.
So good.
She was so like, I don't know. It was just great. I would watch that scene again just for funsies.
It's really good. Okay, what about peak Miranda? Where was she at her most extra?
I feel like there were really two places where she was at her most extra in this batch of episodes. So first of all, my motherboard myself. So this is when her toughness and like all those walls you talked about really showed. Like she just kind of refused to let anyone take care of her. Carrie was like, let me come. I'll be there. I'm driving. And she's like, no, or taking a train, whatever. No, don't come. She like would not let anyone do it. And then she refused until she got to the point where like Lucille pulled her into that half naked hug and there was no turning back. And then she finally just like sank into it.
I don't think you can turn back from a half naked hug.
It's not been my experience.
Yeah.
Once you make it to that point, you're kind of stuck in there. Yeah, I think that whole episode just like
that's how I got married.
Perfect. Perfect. And then in Just Say Yes, again, particularly when she tells Steve that she's pregnant, that is just, you mentioned it at the top of the episode, that's just so Miranda, like telling it like it is, being super blunt, not worrying about the timing, just doing it.
Here it is. Yeah,
doing the
just
thing.
Gotta get this over with. She's a checklist gal.
Exactly,
You know
which, you and I can both appreciate.
I don't know. Not lately. I'm not so good with checklists. But yes, traditionally, absolutely. Lately, it's like, was I supposed to close that credit card?
I don't feel like doing that today.
Did I pay a bill? Yeah. So I think, so when I'm going to give some examples, they're from season 2, episode 8, The Man, the Myth, the Viagra. You already mentioned the Charlotte exchange. Don't Pollyanna out on me right now. Like that was a great one. It's not necessarily her most extra. I wouldn't say. I would just say it's the most Miranda, and she is like really on fire, Miranda, this episode. Not necessarily in the best way though. When she blows Steve off after their one night stand. It's very much so like, great sex, thanks, bye, get out, and she's like kicking him out the door. She's setting her alarm clock.
Setting the alarm clock cracked me up. One, because it said it was 2 a.m. and she was setting an alarm for the next morning. And I thought, how are you going to get up? But then 2, because that's what she did.
That's what, yeah.
That poor man doesn't even have his pants on yet.
She's just very pragmatic. And he's like already just a smitten kitten. Poor guy doesn't even know what he's getting into. And then the other one, I don't even want to read these lines because they were just really mean, but she is so bad to him at denial. It is awful.
It hurts.
I can't read it again, but she's also, she freaks out on Carrie pretty bad when Big doesn't show up, like right before he does actually show up. And it's like a little bit, she's a hard watch in that one. Again, that's that thing when I was talking about earlier, like it's not so much falling apart. It's like, this makes me sad.
Yeah.
So it's more of that.
You're destroying yourself. You're destroying your relationships.
Right. And I think it's like, I do think that is something I relate to. Is there are times where like I'm trying to be funny, but the meanness comes through.
Yeah.
And you, if you've ever had that land unsoftly before, I mean, it's so bad.
It hurts.
So it sure does. Hurts
Cuts,
everyone in the room. Oopsie. And speaking of oopsie, that didn't age well. What you got?
Season 2, episode 8, The Man, the Myth, the Viagra, Donald Trump.
I laughed earlier because it didn't make it in your guest stars. I was like, this is definitely going and it didn't age well.
No. Come on.
I know. Just can't.
That same episode, you mentioned this a minute ago. We got the Fiona Apple reference. That one really took me back.
And the Amstel Lights, very drinkable.
I missed the Amstel Lights. I'm glad you caught that one. She said very drinkable.
It's like my least favorite description of a drink. It's That's really eatable cheese, is it? Okay, great. Well, that's just the bottom line.
Not by someone who's lactose intolerant.
That's true. But that's why I try and get you cheese for lactose intolerant people, Nikki, when I remember to.
Thank you.
Same episode, but for me, it was the lack of cell phones and leaving messages on machines that then caused Carrie, Miranda to fight. Yeah. In season 2, episode 12, say it for me in French.
Oh, La douleur exquise.
Okay, because I'm like, La douleur exquise.
I just had to remember it. I did that off the top of my head.
There's like a George Michael joke in there about the bathroom situation. Yeah. And then season 4, episode 8, My Mother Bored Myself. All the Apple product placements.
Just all of it.
Woo!
Just all of it.
All the fancy colored ones and everything. Man, that was really a time, wasn't it?
The good old days.
Yeah. It did give me some nostalgia.
There was also a George Foreman. Aiden was cooking on a George Foreman. To go back to a time when you could grill in the house guilt-free.
What a time. Did you have any other ones?
In that episode, I also wanted to mention, Miranda said, remember back when the economy was good and we had a table? That's because when the ladies met up for lunch, they all had to sit outside basically on the ground. I'd say what an early 2000s comment. Also, see 2026.
That one comes in cycles.
It really does.
Yeah.
You mentioned the phones. I can't remember if this is part of it, but Miranda called Carrie on a payphone from the hospital. Just doesn't happen today.
That's right. Yeah, I didn't even clock that. Good job.
Yeah. And then in Just Say Yes, when they're discussing, I just totally bounced episode. Sorry. Also in Just Say Yes, when they're discussing Carrie's engagement ring, Miranda says, you wear gold. And Carrie responded with, yeah, like ghetto gold for fun. It just doesn't hit quite right in 2020.
Sure doesn't.
My notes
I got to tell you, yeah.
My notes say it doesn't hit quite right in 2025, even less in 2026, which is the year we're actually in.
I will tell you that even back in like 2004, I was like, ugh.
Ooh, that doesn't feel good.
Like, yeah, I didn't love that. So is there a moment of friendship that we would like to highlight? Now, hold on, because we've gone through a couple of names here. And because I had in my notes, like, or should we just use something different every time? Going back to listen to an episode for social media, I said, or would it be funny if we just did something different every time? I forgot I said that, worked it back into my notes. And I just wanted to be honest about it. So I'm going to submit for this time, because I have no creative juice left, a Manolo moment.
Okay.
I will accept. It's not good. I don't know how that is a friendship thing.
Yeah, well, it's themed. It's on brand.
I had like a diner discussion. It just kept getting worse and worse.
I was thinking like a croissant convo.
Yeah. You can invite me over for a croissant convo
anytime. Yeah.
Yeah. That's much more interesting to me than
Manolo moments. There were two that I wanted to call out. Only one of them is related to Miranda, and I've already said it. It was when Miranda walked behind Charlotte all the way home after they ran into each other on the street.
Yeah.
The other one that sat with me was actually between Carrie and Samantha, again, in Just Say Yes. So we get to the end of this episode and Carrie says, now I have to go confront the one person that like needs to know this or whatever. And it's Samantha, it turns out. And she says, what? So now you want me to get engaged? And Samantha says, no, but if you're going to ruin our lives, I at least want to look at a nice piece of jewelry, because it turns out she was the one that helped Aiden pick out the ring that Carrie fell in love with.
And so good. I have chills again.
I have some updates, things that I kind of want to keep the group posted on as we're going through this. And I want to use that Manolo moment to say, on the note of coming in hot early in the season with hot takes, I criticized Samantha as a friend. And there were 2 instances in this batch of episodes where I can admit that I was wrong. And that was all of her discomfort around Miranda's mother passing and how she was the one to finally break down at the funeral. And then she's the one that ultimately picked out Carrie's ring.
You're learning, Nikki, and you're also bouncing around. So,
I'm bouncing.
So we have a new listener, actually, and so our listener Michael, who is very kind and reaches out quite often, has I guess talked his friend into listening, but Paige.
Oh, I thought you said pay, and I was like, is he paying her? Come on now.
Pay us. pay me.
I wasn't thinking. I wasn't going that route. I was like, don't pay her.
Oh, yeah.
No.
I wasn't either. Never would. So
Paige. Okay. Welcome, Paige.
Yes, welcome, Paige. She was very concerned about you and not going. I was so
Me too,
excited.
Paige.
I was like, what's concern?
Where do we start?
The list isn't as long as Salina, but there's a list. Anyways, the concern was over you not watching these episodes in order. So
Yeah.
I have assured Michael to assure Paige that I got you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to let you
worried.
fall through the cracks. Now, I'm going to let you, I'll give you some room, let you get out there. But if you get too far, I'll tug you back.
Okay.
We'll be okay.
We'll be okay.
But that's a good. I'm glad that you saw that, Samantha. She may be all right after all.
She's going to be fine.
So I had the same ones that you had, but in Coulda, Woulda, Shoulda, I would like to add one more, which is all the women rallying around Miranda at the end.
Oh.
She does decide to keep the baby.
Oh,
to which
God, that was so
Charlotte
sweet.
says, "We're having a baby."
That was
And
so,
she,
oh my
starts
gosh.
to
I
cry.
got weepy. That's so true. That was such a good. We're having a baby.
It's just like a real punch in the face, but like you wanted it,
Yeah.
I also had in my motherboard myself. It's just chock full of them. You said this one earlier, but I just want to say it again because it really meant a lot to me. It always has. And that's Samantha mouthing, "I'm sorry" to Miranda. One thing that I would add to what you said earlier, the way she said it, that timing, Miranda really knowing who Samantha is, because that's what friendship is.
Mm-hmm.
I think that one sorry meant more to her than those stupid ass flowers that came in the door. You know what I'm saying?
Probably. Yes.
Like that more than anything, though.
Yes.
Because getting that from Samantha, it was just so real.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Miranda craves. She craves real.
Yeah.
Carrie jumping out of the pews.
Oh, yeah. I
and
thought that
walking her
moment would
down
hit
the
you.
aisle. Seeing Steve show up
Yeah.
as she's like walking through.
With Aiden.
They're not together then,
No.
but he's there
Yeah.
because it's Steve. And Steve shows up.
Steve shows up.
So good. Anyway, so, but remember I think it was the first episode, I told you there's like, this show has become dusty in some ways. That's a little foreshadowing to our extra sugar this week, but there's like 12 to 15 moments that they'll never not just knock me off my feet. And this was a good batch of episodes.
It was. It was really good.
So I'm going to introduce us back to our quest over the season. I think I've been dropping hints along the way, but we are sort of talking about like which Sex and the City character we most like. Now, I was listening back to our last episode. So I'm going to remind you in case you've forgotten, because I had, that we kind of, for some reason, walk through all the characters a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
This is where we feel. So you can do that, or you can just speak to Miranda. It's up to you, but I wanted to give you the room to whatever you feel like you are. Where are you in your quest to find which Sex and the City gal are you?
Well, it's interesting. So my notes say that I think I said in our Charlotte episode, or maybe the first episode, that I thought eventually I might come out that I'm a little Miranda. But I think this batch of episodes reinforced that for me. I'm definitely a don't fall apart girl who falls apart at really inopportune times. Like, I will keep it together until probably the worst possible time, and then I'm going to fall apart.
Am I allowed to comment on your comments?
I guess.
I think that's definitely true for you, but you're so much softer.
Mm.
And I think you have...
Are you asking me for a hug, Salina?
I thought you were going to be, are you asking me to marry you? I'm just like at your door. Like a ring.
And I'm going to laugh in your face.
Well, that's what I'd be hoping for. You also, like, if I was going to say Charlotte energy, the whole, like, pulling it together around the funeral, that's totally
Get your stuff together, guys.
Yeah, I mean, like, just, like, knowing what to do, knowing all the right things, like, and it's, like, but that's, like, what was interesting, too, about that episode is you see how each one of those characters deal with grief.
Yeah.
And I think they did such a nice job of capturing all that. So I think you're so, like, you've got that energy too, but like in this super helpful way. I mean, I have literally watched you do that for people around a funeral,
Thank you. I
you
appreciate
know?
that.
Well, we've been friends a long time.
A lot of
But I'm
funerals.
also thinking about work colleagues too and stuff,
Yeah.
you know? Like you're the one that like does that and brings people together. And I think that's like I actually think that was a really special energy from Charlotte, even though I know it was kind of like, don't make it tacky. But like but she was not wrong. And look what happens when you ask. They're like, F you, lady, and here's your tacky flowers.
Here's all your tacky flowers.
She's like, no carnations. ah.
So which
So-
character are you?
Okay, so it's tough because I obviously Miranda and I have some things in common, although I do truly believe that a lot of these I've tried to let go. But the younger me especially, the walls, the word vomit, good lord. That one still happens especially. Good jeez. Certain people I just never know how to get it right.
Oh.
My mother, the rigidity about things, less today, but she still pops up. She still likes to say, how do you do sometimes?
Just enough to keep you on track.
Yes, but I think, between the two that we've gotten so far, I'm certainly more Miranda than Charlotte, I would be a taskmaster around a grieving process.
I was going to say, I think you have that organization and like, what can I take off your plate? What can I do so you don't have to worry? And I feel like if Miranda had let them in a little bit more, Charlotte totally would have done that. She would have come in and handled all of it. They certainly would not have been referring to Miranda as the fiance for her brother.
Yes.
Charlotte would have locked that up, and Salina
right.
would have locked that up. That won't happen today.
I would have done my best. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'll be interested to see where the rest of our quest takes us. At the end, I feel like we're gonna be like, oh no.
I don't know. I'm all of them.
Thanks, Salina, for adding this section in. It won't be the first time that you've thanked me. All right, and then finally, I did tack on one thing, but you've already answered one of my questions. I tacked on a category for burning questions. Like, it's not necessarily to do with Miranda, but like we're only talking about so many episodes, and there's like a lot of them, and so I just wanted to open the space.
Thank you.
In case there.
3.
Oh, you have 3. Ooh,
3.
Okay, all right.
Okay, and none of them are about Miranda.
And are they actually questions for me, or just like?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
At some point, I don't know what that looks like or how, but we got to tackle Carrie's smoking situation in the earlier seasons. And the reason I say that is because when I first saw her smoking, I was kind of like, because you just don't see people smoking even on TV anymore, really. Yeah. And so it was just sort of like a cultural moment where I was like, oh, that was a moment in time. But then in like season 3, she was always chewing gum. And I just had to know what that was about. Like, was there something going on with Sarah Jessica Parker at that time? And it sounds like the character was trying to quit smoking. I don't know if SJP was, but the character of Carrie was trying to quit smoking. So I feel like, is that a storyline that happens? Is there something to that?
Okay, you really want me to tell you?
Yes.
I don't think this is like a plot ruiner. When she first meets Aiden, they have like this magical day together.
Okay.
That turns into like
a magical
dinner.
Night together. Oh.
And well, no, that's a whole plot line too, but we'll hit that when we get to Samantha's episodes, and you'll get that, and you might get some of this too.
Okay.
But like, let's go ahead and just rip this Band-Aid off. But basically at the end of the night, they're just having that like first magical day together, that first magical dinner or whatever. And she goes to light up a cigarette, and he is like, I don't date smokers.
Oh.
So there's this whole, and it's really leading to something bigger, I would argue.
Yeah.
Than smoking.
I imagine.
But it
maybe
is
a series of things that she changed about herself to make him happy.
Although that's fair. But I'm thinking more of sneaking.
Oh.
Because she starts sneaking smoking.
Oh, that's a thing that happens.
Yeah, and so
I
it's
saw
like
you smoking when we started recording.
smoking incense, and that'll kill you faster than a cigarette. But like that was like a pain point early on in the relationship.
Got it.
So
Okay,
she
that's
starts doing the
helpful.
patch and all of that somehow like kind of fits into the show.
Yeah, there was an episode in season 3 where I was like, are they really just letting her chew gum through this? Like, what is happening? So that's helpful. In the Charlotte episode, we really didn't get to know Trey's delightful mother bunny. Really cannot overemphasize what a treat she is. But the moment we saw in Just Say Yes at the Scottish Fling or whatever they call it was like, my question is, was that like the most egregious mother-in-law moment they have, or is there more story to that? Is there more
I think
interaction?
that's the worst one because it's like
Okay.
also like racist.
But yes, there were all kinds of problems. There were all
It's like,
kinds of problems.
yeah, I mean, she obviously, and there's like, she says, we thought you were a fling.
Right. That's what we call you.
Yeah. Her melody, though,
Yes.
and everything is so, like, she is funny. It's not my favorite line of hers, but the zinger I'm thinking of is more on the other women in her family.
Oh.
And I'm not sure if we'll get to that episode or not, but one day I'll tell you about it.
Okay.
But it like uncovers like a Charlotte plot point that I'd rather you see than me tell you.
Okay.
With her
But
relationship with Trey.
there is more bunny. That's just maybe the most egregious
and
one.
you know what's funny that I did not know until so I got like a behind the scenes Sex in the City book that I was hoping would be more tea for you. It seems to be more like behind the lanai.
Oh,
Like more
okay.
like a love letter that I've seen
Yeah.
so far. I'll tell you if that changes. But just like kind of paging through, I believe what I was reading is because I was going pretty quick. She was supposed to be on for only a short stint,
Oh,
and she was so good that they kept bringing her back.
well, there you go. That's good.
And
to
I
know.
think like the Kyle MacLachlan,
Mhm.
who plays Trey, I think he wanted the character to be weirder. Like he was just supposed to be this perfect guy that got on everybody's nerves.
Oh, okay.
And I think he may have suggested some of the more this is not just a handsome guy, like plot points. I think.
Okay.
Again, I'm gonna have to do a deeper read instead of
Okay.
6:00 in the morning and be like, let me see if I can tear off a paragraph here before I run into the office because this is normal stuff, right? What's your third question?
So then my third question was, I think that this might have only been the second time I've seen Stanford in La Douleur Exquise. La Douleur Exquise. I was actually a little surprised in the season opener when you introed him as sort of like an important part of the cast because I hadn't really seen him very much. So I was curious if he's going to show up a lot.
I don't know about in our episodes.
Okay.
So, and I feel like he's in it more in the first 2 seasons.
Okay.
And he's less, but he's always there. Like they always bring him back. He winds up in both of the movies.
Okay.
He would have been in the show, the reboot, So, and I'm going to tell you something that all these years I've been watching this show, and I think it's Stamford.
Oh, is it? Uh-oh.
It's not just you. I realized that, like, I think it was like the first time I'd ever looked at his name.
Oh.
I've been watching this show for 20 years, Nikki.
Stamford.
I'm just trying to catch us from a Charlene.
I know.
While someone rakes us over the
Lord
coals and
forbid.
wishes for our death because
I will
we
say
accidentally said one thing and not the other.
he and Carrie have such an interesting chemistry together. Her like Sarah Jessica Parker's delivery changes with him, like the way she delivers lines. And I noticed it in A Woman's Right to Shoes. She just has this like silly playfulness with him that doesn't come out with the other characters quite the same.
I like that read. Yeah, that's nice.
Okay. Well, those are my burning questions.
So my burning questions was whether or not Steve, like if it changed for you.
Oh,
And so we'd already talked about that.
yeah, I had some updates too. So one was I came in hot with the Steve slander. His meet cute with Miranda. I finally caught feelings. Totally get the charm. We did briefly meet Miranda's sister, which you mentioned. That was one of my unanswered questions from earlier this season. Like, will we ever meet their family or see them doing normal things? Carrie also struggling with that computer issue is just like definitely basic life crap. So we got that. I also had an unanswered question about Aiden, like who he was. And you answered with some emojis. And I'm starting to realize that one of them had to do with the fact that Carrie just couldn't fit with him. Specifically, after we got this statement in my motherboard myself, if you start helping me and I get used to the help, nothing good can come of that. So like she's another character with all these walls and it just never was going to fall into place quite right. And now if you'd like twisted my arm, I couldn't remember what emoji it was, but
me neither. I'm sure
and
it
I
was
could
really
be
smart.
wrong.
Yeah, I'm sure it was very insightful. That much I know. While we're on that track, I don't even know if this is question. I won't even phrase it as a question. I'll just say this is something I'm realizing on rewatch. Maybe I realized it before, but it's been a minute since I've gotten that far into the show. Carrie is big in her relationship with Aiden.
Yes.
And watching them the way that we're watching them, it's like even more clear.
Super
he's like,
obvious.
I don't want a key to your house.
Yep.
How do I get in here? And he's pointing at her heart. So,
yep. Yeah, that was really cheesy.
It's the cheesiest, you know?
Yeah, I've definitely had that realization.
Yeah. So
it's kind of sad actually, because he's real sweet.
He is sweet. And well, you'll get more Aiden. You'll get more Aiden in the Carrie batch.
Goodness.
And I mean, he's enjoyable, you know? He really is.
A little cheesy.
There's some oh, we also have the Men of Sex and the City episode that we'll do. So
yeah.
And you'll get to see one of my very favorite episodes.
Oh, good. I'll look forward to it.
He and Big are around each other.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, that's all I got in the burning questions.
Okay. You had closing, but I can take it if you want me to.
I don't even know when I'm just not used to it, Nikki.
I understand.
A creature of habit. Next up is the Samantha episode, y'all. Sorry. We'd love everyone to follow along with us and engage on Instagram and Facebook at Sweet Tea and TV, TikTok at Sweet Tea TV Pod, YouTube at Sweet Tea TV 7371. You can reach us through email at sweetteatvpod@gmail.com, or you can find us on the web at www.sweetteatv.com. There are also several ways to support the show. Tell your friends and family about us. Thank you, Michael. Rate and review the podcast wherever you listen. We also have some additional ways available from the website from our Support Us page. So come back Thursday for an extra sugar where I'll still be talking. Sorry about that. But we're going to talk about what's progressive about the show and where it's gotten a little dusty. This is me dusting.
You have a lot of experience with dusting there.
I've dusted a time or two. And with that, and just like that, I don't know. God, why isn't somebody give us an end to this thing?
I like the end. You just never do it smoothly. You always make it awkward.
Here, you do it.
And just like that, we'll see you next week for our Samantha episode. See how easy that is?
That was wonderful.
Except I have to redo it because actually they're going to see us again later this week for extra sugar. So, boop. And just like that, we'll see you Thursday for this week's extra sugar.
This week on NPR's Tell Us More.
And just like that, tell us more.
And just like that. We should probably end this.
All right, Salina, you want another try? One last try.
This is it. This is just like that. And just like that, we'll see you on Thursday. It's still not good. Just go.